Now it's all starting to make sense and all the puzzle pieces are starting to come together, man. Urban legend Will Evans, welcome to the live stream.
And turn his back on him. And I know for a fact that didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? And like the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. And like the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy.
What? Crazy story that's coming out and report. And I didn't want to believe it, but this might be the truth, bro. This man right here might be the most evil man to work in the music business, period. He looked crazy right here in this picture too, by the way. And this man right here might be the smartest. Like, I don't think Jay gonna go down for nothing. It's being reported that Jay-Z, his lawyer, is reporting, or excuse me, investigating Diddy for Tupac's murder. I'm going to show you guys the evidence of that in a second. And I thought I was tripping when I read the report because I was like, wait, I know this name. And when I found out about it and I seen nobody reported on this, I was like, oh, I got to bring this to the platform and show you guys what's going on. This is crazy. So let's get started with this, man. Before we even get into this, let me set the stage and the rules of the room like we always do. You guys know how we do in here. Subscriber only chat. If you're not a subscriber, you're not gonna be able to be in the comment section. Hit that like button when you come in. Let's keep the likes up before we get into it. Make sure that you hit that like button when you come in the room. We keep the likes of 50% of the people in the room. If it's 100 people in the room, 50 people hit that like button. Let's keep it at 50% as we go through this. Like right now, we got 180 people watching so far. We just started, and only 30 people hit that like button. So hit that like button before we get started. We got a few reports that I got to go through. Tupac's family has come forward, and Keefe D, who said that he's the murderer of Tupac, you know, he's come forward and said some things, and it was being reported that he's been wearing, or he was working for the federal government, and that he had been trying to get Diddy to go down for Tupac's murder for a long time. It said actually that he went undercover. So I'm gonna show you guys that. And it was reported that Diddy offered $1 million. We're gonna get into that, but the biggest part of the story is that Jay-Z's lawyer is the one that's investigating Diddy, which makes sense now why it was being reported that Jay was trying to disassociate from Diddy, like we were never friends, we were never cool. And Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, spoke on this, and we'll bring that up in a second as well. And I'm going to show you guys all of this different stuff. So you got to bear with me. We got a lot of information to get to, and then we'll do community hour at the end, and we'll do our entrepreneur talk at the end like we always do. We start every live stream the same way. We start the live streams with a prayer before we get started. So let's get started. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, God. Everybody in here is healthy, I hope, and they're watching from a place of wanting the community and fellowship and have a good time and entertain each other with this entertainment news and educate each other on what's going on in the world. God, I ask that you bless everybody under the sound of my voice, bless their family members, their children, their loved ones, God. Somebody had plans today that didn't wake up today, God. So we're grateful for life. Thank you for the abundance that you bless us with, and thank you for the community and people that you bless us with. In Jesus' name, amen. This is a crazy story, Lauren. So it was reported that Tupac Shakur's family hired a team to investigate a potential link to Diddy. So they're investigating Diddy for the murder of Tupac. Tupac's family went out and hired a team to investigate it, and to investigate Diddy specifically, to see where he's attached to this at, right? The article says the family of the late Tupac Shakur has hired New York attorney Alex Spiro to investigate an alleged link between rapper's death and Sean Diddy Combs. Now, we know that Diddy has been accused for a long time of, being a murdering Tupac, for having a murder for hire for Tupac. That's always been the accusation. it seems like Tupac's family also feels the same way because they putting money and hiring a team. And Alex Spiro, when I seen this name, I'm like, New York attorney Alex Spiro. I've heard this name before. Where have I heard this name before? I heard this name just recently because we found out, hold on, that's Jay-Z's lawyer. If you guys remember, Jay-Z's lawyer came forward and said that he had no relationship with Diddy. Who's Jay-Z's lawyer? Alex Spiro. Same lawyer that's investigating Diddy and trying to clear Jay-Z's name at the same time. So this lawyer is investigating Diddy for his alleged involvement in Tupac's murder. And he's also Jay-Z's lawyer. So then I go, oh, now it makes sense why the association, he don't want the association to Jay and Diddy. Because he's working against Diddy on a separate case. So it would be a conflict of interest if Jay-Z and Diddy were associates, or if they associated on another case. It would be a conflict of interest for this lawyer to work against Diddy and for Jay-Z if Jay-Z is associated with Diddy. So he has to ruin that association and say that they were never friends. So there is no conflict of interest, right? So this article from Tupac's family goes on to say Shakur was 25 years old when he was shot and killed. I didn't know Tupac was 25. I thought he was like 26, 27, but Tupac was young when he got killed. It's crazy. Tupac Shakur was 25 years old when he was shot and killed while driving in Vegas, 1996, September. Former gang leader Keefe D, Dwayne Davis, was arrested and charged with 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon in connection to the attack. Davis, whose trial begins March 2025, so next month or in a couple months, previously claimed that Diddy offered him $1 million for a hit on Tupac Shakur. So the guy that killed Tupac is saying that Diddy paid him $1 million. Jay-Z's lawyer is investigating Diddy for this. And then in the article right here, it said, and this is an article from Billboard, it says, since the alleged connection between the two has appeared in pop culture, Diddy and Tupac, most recently, Eminem's collaboration with JID, where he raps, Notorious B.I.G.'s death was the domino effects of Tupac's murder, like facial tissue. Whose clock should I clean next? Puffs till he's in police handcuffs. Guilty, will he step up? So Eminem has been one of the people that has constantly said that Tupac was murdered by Diddy. Because if you remember when Eminem and MGK was going back and forth, if you got heard those songs going back and forth, you know, and if you didn't, Eminem said something like that. I put the hit out that got Pac killed, like Diddy put the hit out that got Pac killed or something like that. And he was like, I'm just playing, Diddy. You know I love you at the end. But he keeps saying this. So it says 2008, Diddy denied the connection to Tupac's attack. He said this story is a lie. This is what Diddy said. And it was following a report from the LA Times where they reported that Diddy's associates were responsible for the incident. Quote, it is beyond ridiculous and completely false. Neither the late rapper, Notorious B.I.G., nor I had any knowledge of any attack before, during, or after it happened. I'm shocked that LA Times will be so irresponsible as to publish such a baseless and completely untrue story. That's what Diddy said previously. But you got a lot of people accusing him. Now, there's another person that I'm going to show you guys in a second that's also saying, and it's a woman that's also saying, you know, Diddy has something to do with that, and he admitted it to her. So we're going to get to that in a second, too. The article says one of the most powerful and influential figures in music, Diddy Combs, was indicted by federal prosecutors last month, and we all know what's going on with Diddy currently. So Tupac's family, in summary of this article, Tupac's family hired Alex Spiro, who's Jay-Z's lawyer, to investigate if Diddy is the one that caused or that hired Tupac's murderer, Keefe D, alleged murderer. Keefe D went to court recently, and this is the guy that they say he said, and he did a lot of interviews saying that he's the one that killed Tupac, and his paperwork came out, and it was a bunch of different stuff. So this is the guy that said Diddy hired him. This dude right here is Dwayne Davis, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He says Diddy paid him $1 million to murder Tupac. The article says Keefe D allegedly went undercover in an attempt to prove Diddy was part of Tupac's murder. So he was so invested because Diddy never paid him the $1 million. He just offered it, and then this dude went, I guess, and did it, from what they say, from what he says. And then when they tried to get Diddy back on the phone, Diddy was like not picking up the phone. So the article says Keefe D claims Diddy offered him $1 million for the killing. Keefe D allegedly served as a police informant for years after being caught trafficking a large amount of drugs, according to the court documents. In doing so, he allegedly attempted to claim Diddy offered him $1 million in exchange for Tupac's murder. He says the money was paid out to Eric Zip Martin, so a dude named Zip. He says that's where the money got paid to. So in the documents, in the court documents, the prosecution claims Keefe D flew out to New York City to discuss the conspiracy to kill Tupac. At the time, he met with Zip while acting in an undercover capacity. So he went out there to meet with the dude that Diddy handed the check to, allegedly. And the article says that, or the court documents say that Keefe D was actually undercover and trying to make sure that he could link the payment to Diddy. It says Zip greeted Keefe D excitedly, and they had a social conversation, the court papers claim. It said Mr. Martin, who is Zip, indicated he was out of the business, but directed him to conduct his drug activities with the nephew. Thereafter, the defendant and Zip socialized in the restaurant for several hours. So this dude is going to trial in March. Let's see what else the article says. This is him right here. This is him and his lawyer. So this is the update that they said came after Keefe D continued his attempts to get out on bail ahead of his upcoming trial. They're not letting him out on bail, by the way. It's not happening. So this dude says that, or this is the guy, he was working undercover. He's one of the guys that shot Tupac, or he's the guy that shot Tupac and killed him, allegedly. And he says that Diddy paid his partner, who it was 4 people in the car. Diddy paid one of the guys in the car the $1 million. Now, he went for a dismissal of the murder charge, it says, and it was his dismissal fell through, basically. So he didn't get the dismissal. He went for the dismissal of the murder charge because he said that he had immunity because he was an informant, and he gave the police some information on who killed Tupac and gave him all the information on Diddy, that he thought he would have immunity, but they gave him a proffer agreement, and the only way he would have immunity is if he didn't speak about it publicly and do all this other stuff. And he ended up going out and doing interviews and talking about how he did it and how he had immunity so he could talk about it and blah, 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 blah. So that kind of messed him up. Right? So he went in there trying to get dismissed. It says Dwayne Keefe D. Davis has failed to get his murder charge dismissed. The judge ruled during a hearing that he hasn't shown any proof of immunity. He had claimed he struck deals with the federal or local law enforcement in California, and he filed the dismissal based on that. Now, he had basically they told him, like, you tell us what happened. The feds probably told him, you tell us what happened and we'll let you go. Give us Diddy and we'll let you go. And he did so, and he didn't understand his agreement or that he didn't have no real paperwork. And the feds let him go, but didn't give him no paperwork. So he went out talking about it and got himself caught up. He did a bunch of interviews talking about Tupac's murder and how he did it and how him and his nephew and everybody that was in the car. And everybody else is dead except him. So he thought he was going to go to court and say, nah, the feds gave me immunity. And the judge was going to be like, oh, okay, dismissed. It didn't work out like that. It says in filing a dismissal, Davis's attorney took issue with the unjustified length of time it's taken the state to formulate a case against his client. So basically, Keefe D, this dude, he was free for a long time, and they had him doing interviews, and he never went to jail. So his lawyer was like, well, why y'all bringing charges against him now, after he's been doing an interview for 9 years talking about this thing? So I'm going to show you guys what his lawyer said in a second, because I thought that was interesting too. It says, quote, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as far back as 2009, was in possession of the same set of facts that the district attorney is now alleging, where Mr. Davis is responsible for the murder of Tupac Shakur. This is what Keefe D's lawyer is saying. He said, the district attorney office offered no reason why they waited 14 years to prosecute this case. Bro, murder is one of them things. Ain't no statute of limitations on it. So, I mean, you get caught up, you get caught up. Let's see what he had to say.
I mean, in summary, it's just like I said, there's no evidence that he was involved. He did what Detective Kading did. He put out a book and he made money. I mean, even the state's main investigator that testified at the grand jury said this is all about making money. And that's why he put out the book.
So he put out a book about killing Tupac, and he thinks he's the same as the officer that was investigating Tupac's murder, because the officer also put out a book. Said Davis appeared in the courtroom with shackles around his ankle, blah, 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 blah. So this dude is tripping. He basically told on himself, and he got so arrogant and cocky that they basically was like, you know what, go pick him up. He talking too much. Go pick him up. So even this dude is saying that Diddy has something, or Diddy paid $1 million for this murder, and he tried to go undercover and get Diddy caught up with this, on top of Jay-Z's lawyer investigating this, right? Check out this. I thought this was an interesting video to look back at. When Diddy was asked about Hit 'Em Up from Tupac and how he responded. Check this out. You guys remember this?
He got hit with Hit 'Em Up. Mm-hmm. I had to make the call to Biggie, and I said, we're not going to respond. Somebody's going to get hurt if we respond, And so I don't know what's going to happen with it, but, I could understand that perspective, because Tupac hit us with Hit 'Em Up, and that joint was cold.
That man said somebody going to get hurt. God rest Tupac's soul. He said somebody going to get hurt if we respond to this. Diddy a cold soldier, boy.
Saying I was listening to that, we were actually like throwing people's turntable. A DJ would play that. We would just end the party and just
take that off.
No, we would take the turntable. We would take your turntables. You played Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? That's how cold that thing hurt to this day. Like when we got hit with Hit 'Em Up, I had to make the call to Biggie, and I said, we're not going to respond. Somebody's going to get hurt if we respond.
Crazy, man. Crazy. So that was part of it. And when I seen that Tupac's family hired Jay-Z's lawyer, like it says, the late family of Tupac Shakur hired New York attorney Alex Spiro. Alex Spiro is Jay-Z's lawyer, the one that's fighting all the cases for Jay-Z right now. And it made a lot more sense when you see the reports. To me, it made a lot more sense when you see the reports that, Jay-Z, his lawyer, saying that him and Diddy's relationship was purely professional. No closer association is there. And everybody got on Jay-Z's lawyer because it says it right here, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, is setting the record straight on his client's relationship to Diddy. It says Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. So right there, it looked crazy. It said Jay-Z don't got nothing to do with Diddy or Diddy's case, nor Diddy himself. It said they knew each other professionally for a number of years. Just like in all professions, people know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. Now, we know that Jay and Diddy have been around each other a lot. Hit that like button if you guys watching right now. We got to get the likes up. We got 700 people in here, 300 likes. We got to get the likes up. We know that Diddy and Jay been around each other for a long time. I've seen more pictures of Diddy and Jay than I have with me and my father. So we know that this is come on. Where there's smoke, there's fire. For some reason, people think y'all associated, if nothing else. But Jay's lawyer, Alex Spiro, is saying that there is no association. Now, we know Diddy got arrested. Said since Diddy's arrest in New York, many victims, alleged victims, have filed lawsuits against them. And Jay's lawyer, Alex Spiro, says Jay-Z doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against Diddy. He has nothing to do with that case, and there's nothing more to say. Earlier this month, Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and Diddy both were named as defendants in a civil lawsuit that accused them of assaulting a 13-year-old girl. The woman who identified as Jane Doe claimed the assault occurred at an MTV Music Video Awards party. In addition to denying the claims and the accusations, Jay-Z has since asked the court to dismiss the lawsuit for lacking subject matter jurisdiction due to the plaintiff's lack of standing. Jay-Z's lawyer went on to say it's obvious to everybody that Jay didn't do this. Obviously, he did not rape a child. But what I want to do today is just sort of walk you through some of this so that you can see the truth and you can see what happened yourselves. Spiro reacted to Tony Busby's claims that he will continue to vet the alleged victims' claims. You can now, this is a quote, you can see here now that this is starting to unravel and the truth is coming out. The lawsuit, adding to that, the lawsuit attacks Jay-Z's character and his integrity and all that. Okay, great. He keeps saying the same thing over and over again. Anyways, so back to, because they're going more into Jay and Diddy lawsuit together, which we already talked about. You guys can go watch those other live streams for that. So to me, it makes sense why Jay-Z's lawyer is kind of distancing him from Diddy, because if I'm investigating Diddy for something else and I'm going against Diddy, like we saw, Tupac's family hired Alex Spiro to investigate Diddy for Tupac's murder. So if he's doing that on one hand, and Jay is his biggest client, which I'm assuming is probably his biggest client, the association between those two would create a conflict of interest, which would mean he can't represent either, which means no check for the lawyer. And he ain't gonna have that happen. Now, that makes sense. When you get all the puzzle pieces together and you realize what's going on, like, okay, Jay's lawyer is representing Tupac's family and Jay-Z. And one is going against Diddy and one would have to be defending with Diddy. So he has to create that separation. Makes sense to me. Does that make sense to you guys in the chat? So the other part of this, where'd it go? There was another accuser in a lawsuit that was separately just Diddy's accuser that said some things about Tupac that Diddy told her about the Tupac situation. The article says one of the women accusing Sean Diddy Combs of RAPE claims the disgraced rapper ordered Christina Karam to assault her with a copper IUD. Her name is Ashley Parham. She actually put her name on this lawsuit. Her name is Ashley Parham, and she claims in her suit that she was gang RAPED by Diddy and his associates in March 2018 after she was given a glass of water that made her feel a little bit off. She detailed her claims in an interview and said she was introduced to Diddy when he barged into the California home of her friend Shane Pierce. So she got names and dates. And this is one of the women that actually went to the police and filed a report. So I'm gonna just leave that out there for you guys to understand. She said Diddy basically started threatening me with human trafficking and that they could take me anywhere in the world and sell me, she said. She said he had his longtime right-hand woman, Christina Karam, which is this woman right here, which we reported on yesterday. Go watch the live stream from yesterday if you want all the details about her. We did that yesterday. He had his right-hand woman, Christina Karam, and he ordered her to insert a copper IUD in my vagina, but luckily it deployed before she could actually get it inside of me, like inside the cervix. This woman says, and then that's when Diddy got extremely angry. He grabbed the TV remote and assaulted me vaginally with the remote extremely violently. She claimed that she previously had told Pierce, her friend, that she was at his house, that she believed Diddy killed Tupac. Diddy allegedly heard this comment and vowed to make her pay. Christina Karam is mentioned as a defendant in Parham's lawsuit against Diddy and other associates. Let me go to the rest of this article. It says, Ashley Parham has also said Diddy admitted to having paid someone to kill Tupac, and he was bragging about it. So this woman says that she was around. She heard Diddy bragging about paying somebody to kill Tupac. It says, in the room with me, it was Diddy, Shyne Pierce, Shane's friend, his bodyguard, who later claimed that he was a correctional officer and a prior undercover officer, but he wasn't, she said. And then it was also Christina Karam and another white woman who I don't know her name. They took turns, raping me, and Sean Combs did it to me anally. Shyne Pierce also joined, but vaginally, and the bodyguard, he joined in as well. While Sean Combs was sitting in a chair, naked, filming it, beaten off to watching me being raped. Parham claimed Diddy had threatened her with a knife, but Christina Karam told him that it wouldn't be good for human trafficking me, that clients wouldn't like it. Christina Karam, once referred to as the Ghislaine Maxwell of Diddy's Jeffrey Epstein, has not been accused of any wrongdoing or charged with any crimes yet. And that's because we said it yesterday, and I showed you guys yesterday that it's being reported that that woman is working with the feds now to get out of it in order to snitch on Diddy. And he's facing superseding charges, which are charges that he doesn't have right now, that the feds are going to bring new charges to Diddy. We did that on the live stream yesterday. You can check it out. Says the lawsuit states that both Pierce and Diddy removed all of Parham's clothes, after which Diddy covered her in oil or lubricant. Diddy also allegedly offered Parham money to say that it was consensual and that she was a prostitute. So he offered money to say that it was consensual and that she was paid to be there. See if this article says anything else. It's a lot of information, huh? Said Diddy ended up calling his mother, Janice. She came out and she got on the phone on a FaceTime video and she yelled at me not to hurt her son. So Diddy's mom, I guess, got on a FaceTime and said, don't do nothing. Don't say nothing about my son or something. She said that I yelled back, he raped me. And she told me to take the money. Diddy's mom told me to take the money and shut up. Diddy's legal team reached out to Daily Mail on Wednesday, and the sheriff's department confirmed that this woman did file. Okay, the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department confirmed Ashley did file a report. It was thoroughly investigated, and it was determined that the claims were unfounded. Now, unfounded doesn't mean false. It means that we don't have enough evidence to proceed. That's what unfounded means. So basically, you telling us she did go to the police. She did try to get this reported. The sheriff's department did come out and say, yes, she came to us. She reported it, but we couldn't find enough evidence to go lock Diddy up for this. So there was nothing we could do, basically. Crazy. And that's why I'm reading this report, because this is not just a woman that's accusing. She actually went to the police department. Because a lot of times you hear accusations and you be like, yo, did you go to the police? And they don't be going to the police. But this woman, it's not just about the money. She actually went to the police department, and the police confirmed that she did. But they couldn't do nothing. There wasn't enough evidence. Mr. Combs will be able to establish with documentary proof that he was nowhere near the area on the day that she claimed she was assaulted. There's no evidence that he was ever seen in the same room as her. And this is from Diddy's lawyers. And she is completely unbelievable. No sane person who views the evidence will credit her story. The disgraced music mogul has denied all the allegations. and claims that she fabricated this whole story. His lawyers said that he was not at the scene. Of course, they're gonna say that. Well, what are they supposed to say? And he faces a bunch of lawsuits of similar claims, basically. So this woman is even saying that when she had her situation with Diddy, that, you know, something about Tupac came up in that as well. Diddy's former bodyguard, which we all know Gene Deal, and Gene Deal's been speaking on this for a long time. He says that Diddy and Jay is close, and that, you know, what Jay's lawyer is saying about, you know, Diddy and Jay not being close is BS. And we could get into that another time. I'll do that on another live stream. But I thought this was crazy information just to see that Jay-Z and Diddy, the lawyer, is associated with both of them cases from different ends of it. It's crazy. So that's the information we have to present on this. I wanted to make sure you guys had that. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Salute to Tina King, becoming a new member of the channel. I appreciate you being here. We are about to get into Community Hour. It's Community Hour now. So every time we do a live stream, I come on, I give you guys about 30 minutes to an hour of entrepreneur advice. I teach you guys whatever I can teach you guys. And I answer questions, and we go through the chat and we have conversations with each other about the topic or just about business in general. If you guys don't know, or if you never watched the live streams, then this is what we do. Now you know. If you want to comment or question, put it on the screen, send it to the super chat or become a member of the channel. And then we always prioritize members' comments. We got another new member. Salute to Lisa Lockert. Thank you for being a member of the channel. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate you being here. Let me see. We got Carcino in here. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta get you out of here. This dude always talking to me. This dude, he loved Diddy. He always in here. So somebody said we're in the age of information and proof. Yeah, man. You can get information on anything now. Crazy. Said Christina Karam is undercover against Diddy. Yeah, she is. I believe that. I could believe that. Let's see what you guys are saying. You guys think in the poll, it says 91% of people think Diddy did that. Eminem's been saying that for a long time. I see that too in the chat. Eminem has been saying that for a long time. This is all about reputation, man. Like, I see you, Carcino. Salute Carcino in here. Said Diddy had nothing to do with Tupac or Biggie case. Salute Carcino. We just reading the reports. Everybody accusing Diddy of it. Said we need absolute proof. AI doesn't help either. I don't know what bro talking about, but that's the reports, man. That's the reports. Said evidence come out in trial, kind of standard procedure. Yeah. Says Snoop is not implicated. Yeah, I didn't see nothing about Snoop being involved in it. I just read the reports right now. I ain't seen Snoop name once. Said Diddy was tremendously jealous and envious of Tupac. Yeah, I keep hearing that. I keep hearing people saying that. You know, that Diddy started wearing Versace and all that after Tupac and all that. Lisa said he definitely was involved. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think you get accused of the same thing over and over again and then there's absolutely nothing going on. Like, if people saying that you did something over and over again and multiple people from that don't know each other from all over the country is saying that, hey, bro, you had something to do with this. You know, then you got to assume that it's something there. Because why do people keep saying that about you? Saying he had nothing to do with it is crazy. I'm from the West Coast. I heard them stories growing up about the South Side, Compton Crips and all that. And how they had something to do with Tupac and Tupac was, I always heard them stories. I'm from here. But I don't worship celebrities. Some people worship celebrities and they feel like because I like him as a celebrity or I want to be in the same room with him as him, then I don't want to believe. It's a cognitive dissonance sometimes. It's like what you believe about. There's people that will say that Diddy ain't never did nothing wrong at all because he's rich. I'm rich. So I don't look at things the same way as everybody else. I know it's just money. Yeah, say, you know the saying where there's smoke, there's fire? Yeah, 100%. Everybody thought they both passed because of the East Coast versus West Coast. That's a lie. That's a fact. That's a lie. That had nothing to do with it. Said when almost everyone that was around, all of them in the 90s, and public opinion since the 90s has all been saying that. Yeah. I don't think people say the same thing for 30 years and then there's nothing there. That's just my opinion. Said, read the Tupac murder confession letter. What's that? Let me try to find that right now. We'll put it on the screen if I can find it. Tupac murder confession letter. Let's see what this is about. Put it on the screen. A startling confession letter is said to be the final key in solving the 96 murder of Tupac Shakur. U.S. documentary maker R.J. Bond claims the document names its killers and clears rap mogul Suge Knight of any involvement. It's also said to point a finger at two separate rappers who are unnamed in Death Row Records security chief Reggie Wright Jr., who is said to have ordered the drive-by shooting. The letter obtained by the Sun was allegedly written by one of the gunmen who opened fire on Tupac's car that night. I don't believe this off the bat. I gotta see more proof. I don't think I'm from the hood, like I'm from the street, bro. I don't think nobody in the street gonna write a letter about killing Tupac. That's my personal opinion, but let's keep reading. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Someone called Danny is said to have handed the letter to a TV journalist. The letter, which is unverified, says Danny was told to take Suge Knight out, who many believe were behind Tupac's death. The pair had just left the Mike Tyson fight, blah, blah, blah. Shakur was hit 4 times, blah, blah, blah. There was a major problem with demo stealing. 2 songs that Tupac came out with were written by somebody, was an up-and-coming rapper and singer, gave 4 demos. I don't know if I believe this, man. The letter says Wright told the shooters where Tupac would be on the night of his assassination, that the rapper opened fire. The story behind the confession letter is very simple, that it was given to a Fox reporter who was very keen to this story. A big TV interview was set up by, but he was a no-show. Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe this, man. I don't know. Nobody that commits a murder is about to sit around writing a letter. Says Southside Compton killed Pac, Rap-A-Lot killed Biggie. I don't know. I don't know who killed who, but I know what I heard growing up on the coast. I know what I heard. See, Carcino is the only person who says he has nothing to do with it. What the F is going on with him? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Carcino might have information that none of us have. I'm reading the articles, and everybody that in these articles say, even Tupac family, like I showed you guys, Tupac family even feel like this was a setup. Because why you're not going to spend money to hire somebody to investigate somebody that you think has absolutely nothing to do with it. So That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Said Reggie was at every fight except that one. That's a good point. If that's true. Said because it's based off facts, I was alive at that time and I know. Being alive at that time, I get it, but that's what Carcino say. But that's cool. You was alive at that time. I was alive at that time. Like, what does that change, bro? I just think, like, what other evidence? Show me an article. Show me some documents. I'll pull them up. I'll put them on screen. Because the Tupac family feel like that. The guy that actually shot Tupac is saying that this is what happened. Jay-Z's lawyer is investigating Diddy for this, which we just showed on screen. We've shown articles and documentation. I can't just go off of just because, well, Carcino said it, so it got to be true. I gotta see some facts, bro. You got another victim saying that she was around Diddy, and he said that and she said that he confessed to her that he did that, and like threatening attempt to her. Like that's like 4 different groups of people that don't know each other, all saying the same. And then you got Gene Deal that say the same thing. So I don't know. I want to get to the facts of it and put it on. I'll put it on screen. Send me a document. So, well, what are the facts that he did it? No. You making a claim, bro. Carcino, you making a claim. You got to prove it. It's not, the burden of proof is on you. The burden of proof ain't on the people that are reading the documents. You can't be like, well, show me the facts that he did it. Well, we just did. The guy that actually pulled the trigger said Diddy did it. That's a fact. He went on. He believed Diddy did it so much he went undercover. If you watch the live stream, we already went through all that. He went undercover. Let me show you again to prove it. To prove that Diddy did it, because he was just trying to get solid information. Now, this is the guy that actually says I killed Tupac. I shot him, and he's been arrested and he's on trial for it. And he's saying that Diddy paid him $1 million to do it. Now the burden of proof is on you to tell us why Diddy didn't do it, because you're telling us that this is a complete lie. So tell us why it's a lie. What do you mean drop the link? The link is right here, bro. All right, Carcino, I gotta start talking to you now. What are we talking about? What do you mean drop the link? It's all right here. I just went through like 6 links. The Daily Mail reported it. Billboard reported it. Everybody reported it. New York Times reported it. LA Times reported it. Come on, bro. Somebody said, did you see the proceedings yesterday? He said he lied about everything. Yeah, have y'all been to jail before? I've been locked up. You don't want to be in jail while you're telling on somebody and fighting the case. Said, do you think Keefe D will get his case dismissed? Now I just showed you guys the report that they denied his dismissal attempt. Here it is right here. They denied it. So the dismissal fell through. It's upheld. He got to go to trial for Tupac's murder. Said Diddy is still paying off people. That's funny. Said drop the link to child. Oh, you want to jump on the live stream? Let me see. Let's put Carcino on the live. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see what we got going on. No, being in here. Where can I send you? Let me see. I gotta hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna bring Carcino in. See what Carcino got to say about it. This is a good community hour. Where you at? Carcino, you in here? I get you, Sam. Let me see. Let me see. I'm getting the link right now. Carcino, I just put the link in the chat. Jump in. Jump in. I just put the link in the chat. Cool. I got him. Here we go. Carcino, what's up, baby?
What's good? What's good?
Tell me what you think about this.
Well, for one, Diddy had nothing to do with Tupac or Biggie's demise.
Okay.
Period. I was 22 at that time when it was happening. I knew the situation. A lot of people, the internet, this is the danger of the internet. It's a lot of misinformation, disinformation. A lot of people just make allegations, and a lot of people just want to be in the spotlight. They want the attention, and they don't even care at the expense of if somebody's innocent or guilty to something. They will make up allegations. They would say anything, and people would run with it at face value as facts, and that's dangerous. And that's exactly what's happening in this trial. That's exactly what's happening in a lot of these cases and fraudulently put. Here's what we do know. I have friends on both sides, West Coast, East Coast, connected through and through.
Okay.
Been around, hung out with Suge, the whole nine. So going through this process, there was a lot of dissension going on with Tupac in that situation. Everybody know that's a West Coast situation. That was had nothing to do with Biggie or Puff. Puff didn't have that kind of power that people think he is. He was not the super rich Puffy Combs that you know now. Puffy didn't get that money till like 99. The money he was just got started in 94. So this is 2 years later. He hadn't even gotten the big check yet that made him Diddy.
Okay.
He had some money, but he didn't have that kind of power yet. He didn't have, like, Suge was way bigger.
Because he still got 300 million.
Yeah, he had his distribution in. They were still basically record label, just really getting off the ground. They were getting ready to make a massive push. Al Heyman was putting money in their pockets on doing all the tours.
Putting money in Suge's pocket?
No,
or Diddy? Okay.
Diddy. But he was in control of all, even West Coast, East Coast. Al Heyman is Floyd Mayweather's manager.
Right. Floyd been around Al Heyman for a minute.
Right. And Al Heyman for years have been a multi-millionaire behind the scenes. He put MC Hammer concerts on, the Michael Jackson tour with Don King, Al Heyman. They did the whole Jackson 5 victory tour, brought in Pepsi, he brought in Budweiser, Budfest. So for years, Al Heyman has stayed quiet. He never does interviews, and he stays off the camera.
Okay.
He's a Harvard graduate, and he did all of these things and put them in procession. Sean Diddy Combs had a tour set up. 30 G's a show. Back then, that's like the max for a rapper.
Right.
To get 30,000 for a show. That was unheard of.
Yeah.
Diddy gets a deal where he's going to do 30 shows, 30,000 a show. Al Heyman put that concert together for him. but he did the other tour before that. And this is what caused the Faith Evans to leave that tour, because Al Heyman paid all the money up front, which normally doesn't happen in a tour. Some people pay, you get a partial, and then once you do your shows, Al paid all the money to Diddy.
Right.
Diddy is basically giving them per diem and siphoning the money to them as they do the shows. Faith Evans wanted money for the shows. She didn't get all her money. She got pissed, and she got into it with Biggie, and Biggie was F that B. And then she went to Cali with her friend, and that's how she ended up meeting up with Pac and everything else.
And that's where all the rumors with Pac and Faith come from.
Right. But let's go back to Diddy's involvement. Diddy did not. Only time Diddy had power was in New York City. In New York City, Diddy had power. In LA, he did not. He had no power. He would hire, he had bond security that Clive Davis would give them. So they had hired bond security. But they would hire some of the local street guys there, because they was cool with them, who would give them some protection in LA, because they didn't know where to go. They didn't know how to move around, and they knew Suge is the, they know how Suge moved. So they had them as a backup. Gotcha. And this is before Pac died, because they say, hey, if we go to LA, if we go here, this is what we would have to do. But when they didn't know it was that bad until the Soul Train Awards, when they were at the Soul Train Awards, and that happened. So when they want to go to an after party or something, Keefe D and all those guys, he said, hey, y'all come over. Hey, y'all looking out. They was, yeah, we looking out for y'all. Y'all good. Y'all straight here.
Right.
Like, you ain't gonna run into no problems here.
So you're saying Diddy pretty much had pretty much contracted that Keefe D and their crew to be their protection when they come and they start moving around. That's kind of where the association with them come from at all.
Right. They're not on the books. Those are guys that come over to give them protection when they in LA.
Right.
And, when Pac and Suge them, because Pac and Suge stormed and tried to, they were trying to get at him at the Soul Train Awards, and Don Cornelius came and shut that down.
Okay.
I mean, he got gangster with them real quick. You don't mess up my money. So yeah, Don was something else. But
so that's where go for it. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So you saying that I want to ask you, why do you think Keefe D would make these claims about the $1 million being paid to Zip and all this stuff?
Because Keefe D is a liar and he's a liar, snitch, and he would do anything to get out of anything else. What he's talking about that happened is the fact that Zip, who they knew, Zip had Zip had $1 million. Zip had $1 million because Zip was fin to open up a club, and this was in New York from Black Ground Records. And everybody heard about the Black Ground Records situation, but if you hadn't heard about it, that check is for Black Ground Records, and that check did not come from Sean Diddy Combs. That check came from Black Ground Records, which is ran by R. Kelly's uncle, and is ran by another guy called Jimmy, the Jimmy Henchman. You probably heard of him.
Yeah, I know Jimmy. Okay. Yeah.
So Jimmy Henchman, they had this club, and what that was going to be is basically there was a money front for drug operations, whatever. It's Haitian stuff, but all of that is from that. They were supposed to open up the club with that. There was no $1 million hit. So that's why he keeps saying $1 million, because he heard all the rumors about it when people were doing conspiracy theories. So now he wants to take that. It was $1 million check he had for it.
Yeah, that's street dudes. When street dudes hear money got exchanged, they go, that was my $1 million. That was the $1 million that makes sense to me.
Exactly. Plus, nobody does $1 million for a hit. You can take out a mob for $1 million. You can take the president hit, ain't no $1 million. That is the moronic thing in the world anybody could ever say for a hit. But the general public don't know that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. $1 million is a crazy amount of money, because I know where I come from, you can probably get, I've seen people for $1,200, a tax return, get somebody. So $1 million for, and people would say, well, $1 million for Tupac, specifically because of where Tupac was at that time. Do you would you say that?
The president wouldn't even bid $1 million. We look at Tupac because he's iconic.
Yeah.
You know, he's iconic now, you know, but right. Even then he was like, it's Pac, but still, this is a rapper. You know, he really hadn't even made a mark in the real walk of things. Now he would be monumental. But back then, rappers couldn't, like I said, they weren't even getting 30 G's a show. Now they get 150,000 just to walk around, just for a walkthrough. Like, I need 200 grand for the walkthrough. You know, it's like,
real talk.
Yeah, so the money now is crazy. They wouldn't even allow to do shows like that. It wasn't real rap venues. LA had the House of Blues, and they was, you know, that was the house. If you get to perform in the house, that was it.
Yeah.
You know, so they was making a ground for hip hop to be performed. But that had nothing to do with Diddy. Diddy had nothing to do. He had no power in LA. He didn't hire them. Zip didn't give him nothing to go take Tupac out. That's LA thing, Keefe D thing. And he did go and try to tell, like, yo, that was us. Because they was like, when Diddy and them found out what happened, they was like, whoa. Like, because Diddy don't move that way. Diddy does not move like that at all.
How does he move?
He does not want death because he knows that's bad for business.
Gotcha.
And that's how Diddy's a businessman. And he's like, no, because if something happened to that dude, they gonna throw that on us. You know, like, and we don't know that's bad for business. That's why he was out in Cali too soon. He's trying to mend all we got to make everybody know, man, we got to get back to dancing. Like, man, look, there's money out here. And he was under a false sense of security that since Suge is locked up, it's going to be good to go to LA. And that was a bad idea. Biggie was out here for months and everything was good, but it wasn't good in certain areas. But he was out here and he was talking to people. He was here for months. He recorded out here, did the video out here. But that was a hit that was set up. Okay. So
what do you make of all this the Alex Spiro investigating for Tupac's family and all that? What do you make of that?
Waste of money by Tupac's family estate. And Spiro's just like, I'm finna get paid. So you can investigate it all you want. Diddy had nothing to do with it. They know that, but they'll find out. I mean, if you're a lawyer, this is an easy check for you. All you gotta do is investigate it, find out he had nothing to do with it. Keefe D contacted them because he's like, man, was that y'all? Diddy was like, did y'all do that? He was like, yeah, man. And me, because Keefe D came and actually told him, man, you know, you gave us some money. We'll take care of that for y'all. You know, we go over there, you know, do whatever we got to do. And Diddy told them no. And Gene Deal stated that. Gene Deal said, man, he told them no. Yeah. He was like, man, no. I don't want y'all to do that. He's like, man, if you do that, that's bad for business. Like, no, I don't want that. We already being accused of having this man shot in New York, and we didn't do it. So they had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with Quad City Studios and Shoot Park. That was the most insane thing I've heard ever. I'm like, Big, why would they want you shot? But if you Tupac, I understand why he felt that way. See, that's what people don't realize. There's two sides, and you understand why both sides feel the same way. If you're bigging them, you understand why the Quad City studio went down. It had nothing to do with you, but Pac is not from New York like that. He never really been in Quad City. He never been in this place. So he took him a while to even find the place. So when he got there, he don't know that there's different floors and guys don't even see each other. Like there's like 4 or 5 different levels of studios. So you get on the elevator, you go to your floor, you might not even, somebody could have been there recording on another floor. You wouldn't even know they're there. Big One was on the top floor. Diddy and Andre Harrell was on the 3rd floor. And I had to correct Gene Deal because he had said something that was incorrect.
What he said?
He said that Andre Harrell, you know, they was all in there. They knew what was going to go down and he didn't like Tupac. I said, that's not true. I said, that is not true. I know firsthand Andre Harrell did not dislike Tupac because he just tried to help him 2 days prior.
Why did he feel that Andre Harrell had that issue?
Because after what happened with Andre Harrell, in death row when he went to negotiate a contract for, I believe, Mary J. Blige or Jodeci. He's either one of them. He went to death row's office and he got beat up by Poochie and all those guys, and they beat him up and poured urine on him. It was bad.
Yeah, crazy situation.
Yeah, so that ever since then, you know, of course he's not gonna like Tupac after that. But that was a situation where he tried to get him on New York Undercover. See, he didn't know that till Malik Yoba told that situation. Tupac had a ban from Fox because of the fight he got in Living Color. And Living Color got sued. The limo driver really was being extra. And they had Thug Life and Pac in them there, and they ended up getting in a fight with the limo driver, and they had to kick that limo driver's ass. So he got mad and he was like, I'm suing you. So he sued Tupac, Fox, and In Living Color. So In Living Color was getting in trouble anyway. And it was like, see, you brought this guy on there and he did all that. He's dangerous. And this and that. So when he came to Malik Yoba, brought him on the set, he was like, man, bro, just bring me to the set. He was like, I want to explain myself. So he explained the whole situation with the case and what they're doing to him. And everybody was like, man, they've never known Tupac to be like this enlightened. They met the real Tupac. And he sat down with Andre Harrell. And this was 2 days before he was shot in Quad City Studios. And he said, Andre Harrell said, I will get the bosses in the room. And he said, I want you to talk to them. And I want you to tell them exactly what you just told me, how you just told it to me today. And I can get you on New York Undercover. And he was like, bet, because he's like, I'm going to be in New York anyway. I'm filming these movies. So he's I'm doing 2 movies right now. And then he did Bullet and he did Above the Rim at that time. So
what do you make of all these allegations Diddy fighting right now? Everything that he going through in court, you know, and then they saying it's a superseding indictment coming. Why you think, what do you make of all that?
It's false, and the reason they're doing it is because Diddy challenged some people here in the liquor industry.
Diageo?
And that's not just all of it. He went against the status quo, the people that was protecting him. He went against Ari Emanuel. And Ari Emanuel runs all entertainment. So, and his brother is Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel was the mayor of Chicago and direct best friend of Barack Obama.
What did Diddy do to them that rubbed them the wrong way?
Well, he wanted to create his own political party. He said Black people need to create their own political party. We have been used. We've not gotten anything that we need, and we want to create our. So he created this own Black political party where we have our own. He put it in motion, and it was legit. It was put in there. He had Black people doing there. He said, I'm tired of being these people to sit back. I want to help my people make it. Yeah, I'm a billionaire, but my people that look like me still in the hood struggling. I want to know why we don't have anything. The Democrats, man, I'm tired of blindly voting. When I did vote to vote or die and all that, he was like, I did that, and they didn't do nothing for us. So he's like, no, I'm tired of you're not gonna just get my vote like that. So you're gonna have to tell us what you got to do for us. We're gonna have our own political party. That's not gonna work for the Democrats.
Okay.
Democrats can't have Blacks stepping away from the Democrats and you separating them, making demands saying this or else. Plus, he sued the Diageo for and accused them of being racist and embarrassed them.
Right.
And these are billionaire racist people that don't like to be called racist in the public. And they not only took his De Leon tequila, they took Ciroc from him too. Diddy went and visited the actual. See, this is the part about Diddy that people don't understand is that he's a workaholic and he is very much a smart businessman. He's very smart.
Yeah, nobody can take that from him.
Yeah, and when he actually did and went on to do, he went to the place where his tequila is made, where they go and they get the right, whatever they go out there and pick the right weeds. And he actually went there to see why he wasn't getting the top share or the same supply. And what it was is that he realized that once he owned his own tequila and then he was his own boss and they weren't treating him the same. They only wanted to ship him to what they call the urban markets, the Black markets. And he's like, okay, Now I'm sitting here. I turned this around to a like $1 billion business. I took Ciroc, who was making like nothing, and turned that to $1 billion.
Yeah, because when Diddy came on with Ciroc, the Ciroc brand was failing at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was completely about to be bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
He turned that into gold. So what he said is, look, I had Ciroc beat all the other vodkas. We created other flavors like peach and all these things to take those things to the next level. And once I got complete ownership, that's when the tables turned, and they did the same thing to 50 Cent. 50 Cent said, he said, I understand what's going on because they did it with me once I owned effing vodka.
Right. I heard Phil.
Yeah, they turned on him. And it's the same racism that he was facing. But these people own this, like the distribution plants is here. They're from out of the country, but their main facility is here in Chicago. So I've seen they've actually had parties here. The lady who's now the CEO was the CEO that lived around the corner from me. She used to be the CEO of Pepsi. I was in a negotiation for a deal to have Pepsi represent me. They wanted me to do some events here on my YouTube channel, and Pepsi themselves was going to put it up. That's how bad Pepsi was struggling. At the time, they were ready to go full internet sponsorship, paid advertised sponsorship to promote something on Pepsi, and that didn't go through. And yeah, and it's a matter of that. All of these things together, these guys are all in cahoots to destroy Diddy to make sure he does not come back. But there is no evidence.
Do you think that well, before I even ask you that, I want to ask you, what do you make of the video with Cassie? I know it came out 10 years late, because a lot of people are going to say, well, that video of Cassie shows this is the type of person Diddy is. Do you think that's a PR play, or what? Obviously he did it, but
Diddy actually was like Diddy put hands on people. Like, I mean, you got one of his ex-girlfriends saying that he stomped on her stomach. Well, nobody cared. It's all on the internet. Everybody could see it. She put it out there, and like, he knocked me down. He stepped on me. Like, Diddy was violent, but they were in a relationship, and the most thing he would get is a domestic charge. If let's say they charged him for that, which he can't be charged for this, but if let's say he does get charged, it's a domestic violence misdemeanor charge. It's domestic. They're in a relationship. So the feds try to spin it by editing the photo. The edited video. We saw an edited video. And they allowed that to be played in court to keep Diddy locked up. This is why his lawyer said, why didn't y'all play the whole context of the video? Even the judge asked him that. And he said, why didn't you play the whole context? He's like, well, we didn't feel that we needed to for time constraints. He said, well, that just thinks that a little opportunistic that you guys would not show.
I'm gonna push back on you, this Carcino. What do you think context could have added to that video?
Here's what context would add. They're trying to assume from their testimony that she was trying to escape a freak off, and Diddy's trying to drag her back to the freak off. So the context of it shows she's carrying a bag which actually have Diddy's clothes and materials in it, so he can't follow behind her when she's leaving. She's got his pants, she's got all his clothes in this bag. It's his clothes. So she's taking his clothes out of the room and leaving so he can't chase behind her. That's why he's in the towel, because she got his clothes. And that's why he's chasing behind her, mad because she's trying to run out with his clothes. And that's what's led to this incident. But Cassie has also hit Diddy plenty of times. Like, they two had a violent relationships. Both of them went through therapy. Both of them were doing drugs. And it's a mutual thing. And you find out when they had to do discovery and turn it over to the evidence over to the defense, everything that they have that they can be used in court is turned over to that defense. And once they finally did that and they were able to review it, they said, oh my God, this is it? This is two people having sex.
You're saying Diddy's lawyers are feeling that way?
It's not just Diddy lawyers. That's what the evidence shows. The evidence does not show any threesomes. There's no threesomes. There's no underage girls. There's nothing. It's two people, Cassie and Diddy, having sex on tape. And
How
it's
did they bring a RICO on this? Because Dave Chappelle did that SNL, and everybody was talking about that. You know, Diddy's the only person in the RICO. What's that about?
The RICO is just so that they can add a racketeering in case they get somebody else. That just lets you know how fraudulent this is. How is it a RICO charge when there's there? They say, oh, well, we're going to get other co-conspirators. You normally get the co-conspirators before you can get a RICO case. How are you going to get racketeering when there's no racketeering? Who are the conspirators? So they would have to be added. There's no celebrities on the tape besides Diddy and Cassie. And that's the evidence that they turned over to the defense. So if you want to add anything else to this case, I don't know how you can, because the trial is in May.
I seen a lawyer came out and he was saying that he believes that the co-conspirators are going to be revealed in March after something that the prosecutors are going to file. Or I know how discovery works, but he's saying that, you know, that the co-conspirators have to be protected because they worked for Diddy previously. What do you think about that? Diddy's former employees probably testifying against them.
Well, that's the thing. What are they testifying to? And then there's no physical evidence of it. It's just hearsay. And then it's like, okay, you're a disgruntled employee, so you're going to say anything. But where is all of this footage that's been on the internet that we've heard, the free calls, the Diddy parties? I'm quite sure there was free calls. I've watched these people on the internet. They made a lot of videos and they've shown a lot of stuff. Diddy got a woman on the table with food on her. I'm like, dude, that's tradition. Like, and that's at like every party. That's not like that's actually a tradition that they do in Japan. They serve food. There's actually models that do this for a living professionally. Here at celebrity parties. It's nothing alien. Will Smith was at there. They were eating out. Kanye West did it. And like everybody has thrown this. Now it's with Diddy. And it's she looks a little too young. I'm like, it's been a lot of sensationalism on the internet. So I don't blame the people that's sitting here like in the chats that look at all this stuff and they go, man, that's Diddy gone. Diddy did it. Diddy did this. And I'm like, he's guilty of putting his hands on Cassie, which he said, you know, that shouldn't have happened. But another thing in the discovery that came up was the fact that they got all of the tapes that they got came from Cassie's lawyer. That was that's a huge thing. I saw that. The raids, as I told people, they did not come up with anything in the raid on these tapes that they could use in court. Plus, there is an adult film star named Cassie that resembles her. And she's in a lot of this stuff. And I said, I know that because I remember what went down when it was actually happening about 10, 15 years ago. I've seen the Cassie tape. Cassie tape was leaked on the internet. And then some of it wasn't her. It was an adult film star named Cassie that looks just like her. And that adult film star came into question because a lot of people said, wow, they look just alike. And I made the video and showed them. I said, see, yeah, they got the same body frame. And when you show the scenes, they were trying to use that to sell this girl, Cassie, the adult film star, to build her career looking like the singer Cassie. But the ones that's Cassie, you knew it was Cassie. And she voluntarily, she was all about the camera. She didn't care.
What about the narcotics that they said were recovered during the raids and all that? Do you think that, and they said there were guns involved as well. What do you make of all that?
One is Miami. So Florida is good luck trying to get some gun cases in Florida. And two, the drugs, it wasn't found with Diddy. Like Diddy didn't possess the drugs on him. The guy that they got who was going to testify and say he was the drug mule and all that, there's no evidence of Diddy doing any drugs. The only evidence is he had drugs. So he could say, hey, I worked for Diddy. I was delivering it to him. But he's like, well, what is the evidence saying? Well, do we have text messages saying Diddy, like, I need my drugs? You got to be able to corroborate that, or or it's just drugs anyway. And plus, Diddy is not like a normal human being that lives in a house. He has security that those guns could have been theirs. They could have brought those guns in the room. So when they come in and do security or whatever, they got armed security in Florida. So he's like, look, that's my security detail. That's they guns. I don't have anything to do with that. So it's not like if I had got caught with those guns, that'd have been all they needed to put me away. So that's a whole different situation. But for the fans in the chat, I want y'all to know, as much as y'all probably just don't like Diddy, like I got a friend who he popped out, he don't like Diddy because Pac didn't like Diddy. So Diddy's guilty no matter what. In his eyes, he did not have anything to do with Tupac getting killed at all. He wouldn't even have been doing that at all.
I'm gonna ask you straight up, Carcino. Do you think Diddy deserved to be in jail right now?
Does he deserve to be in jail? Not for this, no. So anything he's done has been done since he was Diddy. Like, if you want to lock him up for like being slimy and doing stuff with like Shyne, the Shyne situation, now that was Diddy with that money. You know,
Shyne had a lot to say about this as well. What did you make of all that? Did you see that?
yeah, well, Shyne is an opportunistic person. You know, this is a guy who tried to sound like Biggie to get a rap contract, and it worked. He was trying to sound like Biggie when he come out.
He was a skinny dude, deeper voice.
Yeah,
he used that voice,
and he was using that voice. See, that's not even how he sounds. Little Kim even made a diss record about it on her album because she was, didn't like it. He got beat up by D-Rock and all those guys. Shyne did, because during this situation. But Sean Poe was a street dude too. So, that case is crazy because Puff had witnesses come in and lie and to help him, but that ended up hurting Shyne's case. But Shyne was gonna go down anyway because it's like, dude, look, you started shooting first. Nobody's gonna we're gonna talk about it here on your channel. So Shyne shot first. See, the thing of it that's real.
You talking about the case where it was Diddy, J-Lo, and Shyne in the club, and the woman got shot in the face?
Yep. And all of this went down because Shyne shot first. And Shyne didn't even have to do that. These guys was agitated because they had signed Shyne to a deal. And I don't even know they was management. He was some street dudes, and they was the first guys who gave him some money. And then he signed with Diddy, and Diddy looking like, hey, man, I don't know about all this. And they coming and approaching him. And the guy, they going back and forth. And the dude was like, I got money too, dude. You ain't, because I think Diddy was like, look, man, I'll buy y'all a drink or whatever. Like, man. So Shyne think they finna pull out. Because he know these dudes. So the guy throw money in Diddy's face. Like, he throw money up in there like, I got bread too. You ain't the only one with bread. He throw the money up. And when he do that, Shyne think he's going to pull. So Shyne just pulls out. So now they got to pull out. They see Shyne pulling out a gun. So they pull out a gun. And then, boom, bullets just start flying. Everybody shoot. J-Lo falls. She can't believe it. Diddy allegedly grabs a gun and starts busting back. He started shooting too. And allegedly, the girl said Diddy is the one that shot her in the face. So
why does Shyne come out? Why is he saying what he's saying now? Where he's saying, I took the fall for Diddy and I was a young kid and all that stuff. Why you think Shyne going down that path now? After all that,
Shyne Poe is only gonna do whatever benefits Shyne Poe at that moment in time. When he got deported, Diddy tried to take care of him. When he was in jail, Diddy tried to go to his house and give a bag of money. He was, no, we don't want nothing from you. So Diddy tried to help Shyne at every chance, and he did. He took him to Paris Week, got him paid, took him there with him and Cassie. They went over to France, and then he helped him get elected when he was over there in Belize. He came and visited him in Belize, and he became a political person. So he came out of jail. He was a Jewish rabbi. Then from a Jewish rabbi, he goes back to his country. Now he's a political man. That's Shyne Poe. He will conform. He's a chameleon. He will conform to anything you need him to be at that time. Now Diddy's in trouble. It's not cool to be cool with Diddy. Good. Now I'm going to tell Hulu my side of the story. He gets a bag and he starts talking. That's it. That's all you need to know about Shyne Poe.
With the Kim Porter situation, a lot of people want to know about that. Do you feel like Diddy was involved in her death?
It's a lot of questions, buddy. I made a video on it. That video will explain it all.
Okay.
That's all the facts, everything that we know from it.
Yeah.
What I'll be sure is doing is trying to paint it as if that's the case.
Yeah, because he's talking a lot about it.
Yeah, he's doing his sensationalism right now too. Because his thing is Diddy had to check him one time. Now, Diddy has always loved Al, let him be a father to his son, never let him change his name. And his son is like, I could be a Combs. His son looks at Diddy more than a father than he does, I'll be sure.
Yeah, that gotta hurt.
Yeah, and that's the bitterness Al have, and that's not because of Diddy. Diddy's like, Al, you can come. We have an event. You more than welcome to be here with your son. You more than welcome. Even though he dated Kim, he's like, look, that's y'all child. You come over, and he knows that he's never been excluded. And then one time, Kim got into an argument with Diddy, and Diddy had to tell him, like, this is a situation between me and Kim that don't involve. All right, now he's like, I don't get involved with you and Quincy, and in that I step out. But here, you need to mind your effing business. Like you need to, you crossing the line. So then he said, oh, I got taken out. They gave me something. And like Diddy ain't had nothing to do with that. And he know that, but he was trying to sell it as if Diddy did it, knowing he was lying. Like he was just leading people on to like, oh man, did Diddy them try to take him out? He was, I'll tell my story. When I was like, oh my gosh, man, that's terrible. That's terrible to do. Like my thing is, if I could hate somebody, if they didn't do something, I can't say that. I can't.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Right. I couldn't put a death on somebody. And so for people that don't know, Diddy did not have that kind of power yet. He didn't get that because he didn't get that big money from Clive Davis yet. All that money kicked in once Biggie died. He got paid off No Way Out, the Life After Death, 7 million, almost 10 million, the Mace album. That's when they blew up. They was just on the cusp. Biggie, that second album didn't even drop yet. So Diddy had some money, but he wasn't filthy rich until that point.
This is the last thing I want to ask you on this, Carcino. Why don't nobody defend Diddy? If Diddy is innocent, like you feel that he is on this situation, why don't nobody come forward? Why does the whole industry seem like they just either silent about it or they want to see Diddy?
Because of Ari Emanuel. Ari Emanuel runs the whole entertainment. And once you go against them, status quo, they don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to they have the internet turn on them. Anybody who says something, like soon as somebody said one thing about it, they turn around and attack them. Any celebrity that say like, well, Diddy's innocent until proven guilty. What? And they just go right and just starts, why did you say anything? So everybody's scared. Everybody's in a simulation. Hollywood is like that. Everybody is in line. They do not break status quo.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, Carcino, I appreciate you for your time, bro, coming over and letting us know what you think about this, man, because this is a crazy story, and we've been seeing a lot of information for the last year or so. Yeah, a little over probably. So I appreciate.
I don't know how they had the Diddy thing. Like, I mean, with Biggie, like, I mean, why would Diddy try to have Biggie taken out? That just somebody.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think Gene Deal got a lot to do with that one.
Yes, he does. In my opinion, that's why I wouldn't talk to him, and he tried to talk to me. Me and him been going back and forth. I'm like, dude, I don't deal with you. I think you was a crooked cop, so I don't talk to you. It was like, that's why I don't talk to you. I think you and your father were crooked cops.
He tried to come on your platform?
Oh yeah, he wanted me to come on Bomb first, and then from there he wanted to do like, man, let's talk, because he was like. But then he was like, man, I want to hear these stories because I know you hung out with Suge after the fact. And I was like, because Suge Knight tried to get into boxing, or better yet, try to extort some people in boxing, because I'm no Floyd Mayweather. So I'm always was around Floyd. So he would come to Floyd fights and try to be in the presence, like he's trying to lean on people. And Jay Prince is there, Floyd's phone. He used to manage Floyd too. So Jay Prince is there and everybody. So Suge comes there and tries to get the attention. And he see I'm with Floyd and he's paying attention. So when he saw me out and we was at the nightclub and we ready to get in there, and that's how they see that picture of me and Suge. They was like, you went to the club with Suge? I'm like, Suge was going already. But when he saw me, he was like, hey, little guy, Floyd guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he just know me as Floyd guy. So
Yeah.
he would always put his like arm on me and everything, rest his arm on me and stuff when he saw me and saw him and Cat Williams. And we ran into each other. Those were some good times. Like he was a cool dude. Like he was really laid back, but some woman actually asked him to his face, did he have something to do with Tupac's murder? I couldn't believe somebody would have the balls to do that. She came right up to him. I'm sitting right there with Suge. He's taking pictures with people. They coming up. And this lady, she was like, they said you had something to do with Tupac's murder. I don't want to believe that. Tell me you didn't do that. I'm like, oh my God. And he had totally ignored her. Did not answer her at all. He just hugged people, started taking pictures. Like she didn't even say it. And she's standing right in front of him.
Yeah, I heard Yayo say the only person he ever seen do that was Proof from Detroit, Eminem boy.
Oh, Proof did that. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, Proof would do it. Proof is crazy.
Proof was a wild boy.
Yeah, he was. He died. He died the way he lived. Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy dude, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. I'm full of hip hop stories, so yeah, everybody would know.
Yeah.
I'm full of a lot of them, and yes, D12 is like one of our like groups. They toured. That's how me and Royce the 5'9", we actually did a video and finally chopped it up after all these years. And he was like, dude, I thought you hated me. So yeah, we did that video too. It's on the page. We talked and we squashed everything. I'm like, dude, I told you 3-4 years ago, like I let all that stuff go. And I was like, dude, I praised your album. He's like,
Royce is nice too.
Yeah. I didn't used to like Royce because I was like, dude, I didn't appreciate that sound you was doing, that thing. But we had a falling out because it was some of our guys here from Chicago that rap with Common. And everybody else, they were doing their shows and stuff. So they go to Detroit, and Royce was like the main guy on the show, and he was acting like he was Eminem or somebody like a superstar. And he was just really, and it wasn't the Royce now. He was like, yeah, that's back when I was drinking. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I see that you changed. So I just let it all go. But first I was telling it and I was mad. So about what happened, because you was extra that day. And I was like, dude, they was like, I know we in Detroit and we from Chicago, but we might have to set dudes straight. We might have to go in there and crash. I'm like, nah, don't do that. And then, like to this day, they was like, dude, man, we been let that go, dude. Like, that stuff happened on the road with many acts. He's like, dude, there's so many rappers I want to punch in the mouth. They're crazy.
I know you've been around this for a long time. So, I used to watch your videos, the Truth Behind. Yeah. Every time you did the Truth Behind, man. So I know you've been at this for a long time. I respect your opinion.
And a lot of them didn't believe me until Fat Joe came out and confirmed it.
Yeah. I remember.
Yep.
People used to say like, nah, I seen no lying. But Fat Joe confirmed you've been around. So, man, I respect it. I appreciate you coming on the platform. We're going to close this out, man. But thank you for being here. And man, I love to, we got to do this again. I'll maybe come on your platform or we got to swap off.
For sure.
Have some conversations.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Man, I appreciate you, Cino. Man, there's a lot of information. That's Carcino. Carcino gave his opinion. He blessed the platform with some information. Salute to him being here, man. I really appreciate it. I think that's a good way to end for you guys. What you guys think? Did you guys enjoy the live stream? Let me see what you guys got in the chat. Carcino been doing this for a long time. You guys enjoyed it? That's all I got for you guys on this one, man. We're about to do the entrepreneur live stream on the other channel. And we just gonna go through principles and do what we do over there like we always do. You know what I mean? That's all I got on this one, you guys. I'm about to get up out of here. About to go eat some lunch, and then we're going to go to the next one. So make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels. Thank you guys, everybody that joined today and everybody that signed up in the entrepreneur group. I didn't get to talk about that this time, but we had a good stream. So I was like, man, we're going to let it rock. And salute to Carcino coming over and blessing the platform. He didn't have to do that. So that was a win. That was a win. All right, man. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out of here. Urban Legend.